So what winds brought you to the oyster world?
Oh, a lot of good winds, I guess. They didn't seem good at the time, but I guess probably 7 fires in 6 months tore down the empire I was trying to build. So we sold things until we were square with the world, and what we had left we put into the oysters. The family had been involved in oysters right from the very beginning, so historically I had heard stories about it. And as I was working at all these other things and running in circles, cackling like a rooster with his head half chopped off some of the time, I needed something to relax. And I always thought if you were going to relax, it'd be a good idea to make money while you were doing it. So I started out with a license to recreationally fish oysters, because that was relaxing and I loved oysters. So then I had the opportunity to move that to a commercial license. So I get commercial oyster license and started doing that just as a hobby because it relaxed me. And so, you know, I knew the industry. This is what basically happened. Basically, the process is I go out, or one of the boys or workers go out, and we fuel up the harvester, we fire it up, we head up to one of the leases. We harvest until we get either how much we need or how much we want for that particular day. Either the harvester can come down itself or the service boat will bring the oysters down. They come into the shore and they can be put off in the water and left in bags overnight, or they can be brought directly into the plant.
What do you enjoy about your jobs?
Well, I wake up in the morning. I feel the way I did when I was 19 or 20. Then I try to move. The reality comes home to me. But I have so much to look forward to when I drag myself out here and look out the window at the bay. And then when I get breakfast eaten and I get out there, I can go out on the bay, I can harvest. There's always something there that brings me close to nature. Something, it's very difficult for me to put into words. Whether it's my First Nations part of me or whether it's just the way I'm put together or what, I don't know. But there always has been a relationship between myself and the land and the creatures of the ocean and of the forest. I just can't quite put it in words. It's just a feeling, and it keeps me going. The oyster, if I had my way, I would never charge for an oyster, because in the native culture, food is something you share, and an oyster was something that was special in the culture and something to be shared at a party or a gathering or a get-together. but being practical, and thank goodness I have a wife that's a lot more practical than me, and a daughter that's more practical than I am. They're able to do it in such a way that I make money and they can keep me going doing the silly things. But oysters are all about a good experience. Like with you guys, I've had a blast. You know, like I've really enjoyed spending time with you guys. And that's the way it is with an oyster. If you take an oyster out, you open an oyster up, you share it with somebody. If you're lucky, maybe you have a sip of beer or a little sip of wine or something along with it. And it's an experience, and it's a sharing of something in common. And it just gives you a good feeling.